Brilliant. I think we're live. Good evening, everyone. Chris, we live? Good. Awesome. Fantastic. Good evening, everyone. I'm joined with my co-founders, Chris and Patrick. Our other co-founder, unfortunately, couldn't make it. He might join a little bit later during the call. But really, today, this evening, is the update that a lot of people have been waiting for. So very excited to be here with you guys and very excited to share where we're at with the project and, obviously the pertinent questions that everyone's been asking, answering some of those. So I'm really going to jump right into it and run through it. At the end of the walkthrough or the run through, we'll give some opportunity and time to answer any questions that anyone might have. So if you want to post any questions, you can post it in the YouTube chat or you can post it in our Telegram or our Discord. And we'll get to those questions at the end of the run through. So kind of what we're looking to do is I always like to start these with a nice overview and walkthrough of what LibFi Finance is all about and what we're aiming to achieve. We'll look at TradeFi, which is quite a big narrative that we're focusing on. We'll speak around the monovolts, which we've been starting to talk about more and more. And then obviously the big things around, our planned public sale and launch date, as well as when we launch, what is the day one features we're launching with, what does the 2024 roadmap look like, and then we'll open up to comments and Q&A. So let's jump right into it. So who is LibFi Finance? What are we about? Really, at its core, we're the world's first Sharia-approved decentralized exchange. But I think the important point there to make is that we're not exclusive, but rather inclusive. So we're making DeFi available to everybody. And a lot of the fundamental principles that underpin Islamic finance align very strong with our value system and should align very strongly with the value systems of many crypto protocols and crypto projects. We've built the solution as traders, for traders. So we've thought about a lot of things that current DEXs miss, that current centralized exchanges do well, that we should bring into a decentralized space, and we focus quite heavily on that. One of our sort of guiding principles is that custody should not be given up for the sake of convenience. And really, the goal for LibFi is to unlock, the future of financial freedom for pretty much everybody. So why the specific focus on Islamic finance? Well, really, if you look at the sort of total Islamic finance market at this current point in time, it's around $3.7 trillion. And that's expected to grow to around 5.5 trillion by 2025. And if we had to sort of mirror proportions of the traditional markets versus the last crypto cycle, we're looking at an approximate potential market for LibFi of around 320 billion. And 3% of that would result in a $9.6 billion serviceable market. So they're not small numbers. And it's really exciting for us in terms of the opportunity of being able to provide this service and provide this solution. But in creating this sort of DeFi solution, we've also identified quite a big opportunity in the existing traditional Islamic financial institutional market, where the current processes for a lot of the work that they do is very slow and inefficient. So our technology that we're creating speeds that up tenfold. Also, we're going to do a big focus on Web 2 engagement and adoption. A lot of decentralized exchanges and a lot of decentralized protocols are still very Web 3 focused. You need to have a full, deep understanding of wallets and MetaMasks and private keys before you can even get started, let alone understand how the fee structures work. And most people end up giving up, before they even are able to get into it. So our big focus is to take a lot of Web 2 approaches to garnering user bases into the platform and into the ecosystem and making that onboarding as easy as possible. So really, we're looking at sort of two components to LibFi. We've got a DeFi offering and we've got a TradeFi offering. And if we look at our DeFi solution, it's really built under three sort of pillars. First being, it's a decentralized exchange. And we'll bring everything that you can expect from a decentralized exchange, as well as a centralized exchange. We're also a decentralized marketplace, and we're building a lot of really creative lending solutions, specifically for the Islamic market, but available to everybody. So there's a lot of cool things that we're creating from a lending protocol perspective. And then lastly, a big focus of ours is education. Both myself and Chris come from an education background and have a strong sort of belief system and focus on teaching people, not just about the markets, but how to trade, how to be secure. And there's been a number of masterclasses that we've been running, and we'll be continuing to run these masterclasses just to really upskill people. But the big focus of LibFi is that we want you to learn and understand the products and the features that you're utilizing before you have full access to them. So, for example, you wouldn't be able to access a margin tool until you've done like a risk management course. So the idea is really to ensure that people fully understand and become better, investors and traders on the solution itself. I think the other side of LibFi is the TradeFi offering. And really what it means is we are a real-world project that will be generating real-world income. A lot of crypto projects and protocols that exist currently only service the crypto market or the protocol that they currently reside on, which means that there's no real additional revenue that they can create unless there's additional revenue being pumped into the overall crypto ecosystem. What we're aiming to do is using the protocols that are being created by LibFi. We're making them available in a TradeFi space as a commercial offering to facilitate lending. This service offering will generate a substantial amount of fees, and we would then be sharing around 70% of these fees with LibFi token holders. So how will this sort of traditional finance solution work? Well, we're terming it Islamic Financing as a Service, and basically it allows through a private chain, and we'll talk some more about that, the ability to facilitate what we call a deferred commodity-based lending. What it does is it allows an opportunity to sort of tap into a $2.7 trillion market, and the liquidity that we create in the traditional finance space, we will bridge across to allow the DeFi space to also make use of this liquidity for lending. And ultimately, this will enable our Trade Boost feature, which will be our margin trading or margin type trading instrument that we'll be bringing to everybody and making it a fully inclusive offering that people can use. So really the activity of this, like I mentioned, we were a big focus on the bulk of the revenue generated in TradeFi being shared back with the LibFi community. And that's going to really be done through our Mana Vaults. There's going to be a lot of information and stuff shared around the Mana Vaults in the coming weeks. But really our idea is to reward all users in the ecosystem. The vaults not only are a mechanism for reward, but they also incentivize our token adoption and demand for our token. And really, these vaults will share revenue generated in both the DeFi space, but also the TradeFi space. So phase one, when we launch, will be LibX rewards that you're able to compound into the vaults and earn more LibX to really build up a base that will give you the best opportunity to then enter into phase two, where real yield will then be supplied in the form of stables or top tier tokens, be it ETH or BTC. So really, I suppose, looking at all of this and around what we're doing, looking at the vaults, the big focus then is what are the next steps from here. And one of the key ones is our first sort of big date announcement, which would be our public sale. So we're aiming to launch the public sale on the 25th of January, 2024. We're really excited about that. That's our goal. That's our sort of key focus. And then shortly after public sale, we'll then be aiming for a token launch date or the token generation event on the 8th of February, 2024. And for us, we believe that, we've got to get moving with the project. We've got to really then start driving adoption. And really, we are able to do this, sooner rather than later, with our new sort of approach that we're taking in terms of how we actually want to roll out the solution and how we want to sort of build it up, over 2024. But I think before we launch anything and before we have a public sale, there's a couple of sort of key success milestones that we need to achieve as a project. And really these milestones are, we definitely need to grow and increase our social media following. We need to ensure that our new testnet is fully operational and up and running on the Arbitrum testnet chain. We need to have at least 25,000 sort of active testers testing the solution and the tool. Our vaults need to be ready to launch on mainnet, so audited and tested, and run through end-to-end exploit checks to make sure that they are secure and they are safe. We need to have at least 2 top-tier launchpad ready to list us, and most importantly, TradeFi interest and engagement. So I suppose then the big question is then, how do we achieve this? How will we actually hit these successful milestones? And I think really that's really what I want to take you guys through now over the next couple of minutes. So starting off, we are launching a brand new incentive program. And I'll just play this little video for you guys now. So really, really exciting for us. It's the LibFi Mawiba participation incentive. And really what we're driving through this is we're launching our new website. So if you've recently tried to hop into our website, you'll see there's a nice countdown as we start restructuring things and adding a lot more content. And one of the really key pieces to the site will be this incentive program and the details around it. But really at a high level, I'm going to take you through the incentive program just to outline sort of what we will be doing. So there's about $1.3 million in rewards that are going to be made available for the program itself. And there's some key things that we're going to incentivize. So first being bridge engagement. So utilizing our bridge to bridge from other chains into our testnet and incentivizing that. We'll be looking at, testing, trading and staking activities on our testnet. We will have our super tester program, as well as then driving social media activities and participation on social media. And then lastly, we're building a referral program where you can refer individuals to any of these incentives and earn additional incentives off of the incentives that they create. So specifically, if we look at it from a bridge engagement perspective, the objective here is we want to incentivize similar protocols, namely being Islamic Coin and the Maraba community, to do testnet setups and bridge testnet tokens across into our testnet ecosystem. I think really for us, it's around being able to create this cross-chain interoperability and also stress test our bridge technology. The reach with this approach is around 180,000 active community members in both those projects. So really excited, at that opportunity. In terms of the trading and staking activities, you'll be able to earn Mawiba points through trading, staking in the test environment, also testing the test amount of vaults, and really just participating in all the test features that will be available on testnet. And really it's about encouraging active involvement and kind of building some feedback mechanisms, seeing what's working, what isn't working. The potential reach there on Arbitrum, in the last 24 hours, for example, there were around 175,000 active wallets on the chain itself, with around 22,000 new wallets being generated on Arbitrum every single day, and close to 1 million transactions, in the last 24 hours. And in this current market condition, that's phenomenal. And if we continue on the current trajectory and things continue to grow like they are growing, we expect this to be a lot more. Our super tester engagement is really around then saying, well, the people that are testing and are really engaging with our solution, is let's enable them the ability to register as a super tester. As a super tester, as per the previous testnet role or the current testnet role in Discord, you would be able to log testnet issues. And if your issues are bugs that are found and identified, you'll be rewarded for finding those specific bugs and issues. And really it's about engaging additional eyes and people to actually run and really stress test the solution itself. In terms of the program, the social activities program, really we're going to be gearing up and rewarding points for Twitter posts, blog posts, community promotions, creating YouTube videos, and a whole bunch of other really cool things that we've got in store, like weekly quizzes, project engagements, and a host of other stuff. And then lastly would be then our referral program, where we really want to then encourage people to encourage their closest friends and communities and networks to come and experience LibFi, come and experience what we're doing, and engage with what we're creating. So really around this, our marketing drive is quite straightforward. We've got our new site that's launching. Within that, there's going to be a ton of content around TradeFi, a ton of content around DeFi, a lot around our protocol, a lot around our governance, and a lot around the amount of vaults, as well as the incentive program itself. We'll be kicking off one of our first AMAs next week with a fairly large community. Some more details will be shared on that. But really, we're going to aim to do almost weekly AMAs with different communities, with different chains, and specifically with some of the teams at Arbitrum. We'll be releasing a bunch of press releases through some very good publications also in the coming weeks, as well as then holding ad hoc Twitter spaces, and also opening up, Google Meet calls to the community where you can hop on or on Discord to engage with us and to chat with us. So at day one, when we launch, what is it that we're going to be launching with? We're planning to launch with the Amana vaults on mainnet, as well as then a much more enhanced testnet experience to continue to drive the incentive side of things. We'll also be launching with our Sharia or Islamic-based asset screener and tracker, so you'll really be able to see various assets on the platform, which ones have been screened, which ones are permissible, which ones are not, which ones have had due diligences done, and those sort of things. As well as we're then going to be launching our TradeFi proof of concept using Arbitrum Orbit, which is the Arbitrum private chain technology that we've adopted for TradeFi. So in terms of our roadmap for 2024 at a very high level, and a lot more of this information is going to be available on the site when it launches. But at a high level, Q1 looking to launch the LibFi DAO and governance, as well as then launch the token and the Amana vaults, as well as then launch the TradeFi proof of concept and start generating our first pieces of real world revenue. Q2, it's the full DeFi launch, which is your trading, your staking, your lending, as well as then activating Amana vault real yield rewards. Q3, we're going to then start bringing a lot more of the professional trading tools and trading experiences, the education solutions, those sort of things coming through. And then Q4, aiming to then onboard a host of new TradeFi services that we've already started to identify that would piggyback on our existing TradeFi infrastructure. So things like peer-to-peer lending, incubating new projects, setting up marketplaces for projects to co-fund one another, and really sort of driving adoption in that specific space. So really, guys, this is at a sort of high level, what we've got in store for you. This is the update that we wanted to sort of share with everybody. So we're really excited. We're really excited to be on this journey. And yeah, I'm happy to switch back to the chats and ask you to reach out if you've got any questions, or follow us after this, and also reach out to us if you have any questions, if you're watching a recording of this specific call. So I think, yeah, let me open it back up. Any questions that we can kick off with? Awesome, awesome. But yeah, I think, we can give it a minute or two. Awesome. Okay, then I think there might be a bit more of a lag, Chris. Yeah, everything has been explained in terms of the comment and the feedback. Yeah, I think you are right. And I think as content starts coming out, really it is about engaging with us in the community, engaging with us on socials, and asking questions if you're unsure of anything. But yeah, excited to launch a sort of update with you guys. And yeah, really looking forward to the next couple of weeks, man. It's going to be fire. There's going to be a lot of hard work, a lot of grind. But yeah, very, very excited to be on this journey. I suppose we can give Mohammed a gap. I know he wants to ask a question. I know he always likes to ask questions. Fantastic. Brilliant. Yeah, I think, guys, it's pretty clear what the focus is. I think it's pretty clear what we're doing. And yeah, let's close it off for that for now. And feel free to, if you think of anything, just drop it in chat, man, and we'll catch up with you.